Hey guys, welcome to the Big Time with Austin, your monthly podcast. I'm Austin, your host, and Carson, your co-host is here.
I
Sorry
never
for a
know.
little bit of a late upload on this one. It's his fault. Blame him.
I am.
Uh, he went
You
to
can blame me. I
Disneyland.
was
He went
busy.
to Disneyland without me, so that's nice.
I don't know if St. Louis counts as Disneyland, but it's definitely something.
Oh well, I saw some form of Disney post. Maybe that was like a throwback post.
Probably. I was gonna say
Oh,
I was in Disneyland.
oh well. I was like, you're going to go see Deadpool without me at Disneyland? It's like you don't want to go see the movie, but you go see Deadpool in person.
Yeah, I had thought about, Deadpool and I are best friends, so
Hmm.
what can I say?
But yeah, so with it being a little bit late, we have a little bit more topics to talk about. Um, but I mean, it's still the first week of August. So not really that big of a deal, but we're gonna get right into this. If you guys are listening to this on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, welcome. You can also check us out on YouTube, the review show, and we'll get into this. If you want to start out with the first topic?
Why not? All right. I feel like we've talked about this one a decent amount, don't you think? But I'm excited to hear. So, well, first off, it's Reuters, which I think is kind of interesting, but Alec Baldwin and the charges for the shooting on set of Rust was dismissed completely. I want to make sure I read this correctly. So give me just a second. There was a quote that I really liked. Um,
I forget what he was dismissed for, but this is good because I don't think it's the actor's responsibility to check the gun.
no, it isn't. It really isn't. And the fact that they would like insinuate that is really unfortunate. So I'm trying to find it. They have an ad blocker on the site. It doesn't
Ad
like my ad blocker.
Oh, can't
God goodness.
you can't get away with that. But I mean like I sh this whole entire situation seems like, it's like, hey, it's a big name actor. Let's see what we can do with it.
Yeah, let's see.
I feel like that's part of it too, not just because like someone died.
Yeah, my favorite quote was that his lawyer said prosecutors dragged him through a cesspool of improprieties. So not only are they mad, that they ever considered charges in the first place, but the fact that they're basically insinuating that these prosecutors just dragged Alec Baldwin basically through the mud for something that really wasn't his fault.
No.
It's very unfortunate, obviously. Well, I feel like 2021, this happened in 2021. It took almost 3 years.
Yeah, just to get
Three
the case.
years. Oh my goodness. So,
It was quicker
and
than
then
the Johnny Depp case, that's for sure.
it wasn't as entertaining, though.
No.
Everybody can agree that Amber Heard needs to go on trial a few more times. It's very entertaining.
Yeah.
So
They
maybe we
should
can put her on trial for
make
her
it a
bad
TV show.
acting.
Make it a
Yeah.
TV. We'll watch it. But yeah, I don't know. Do you know what he was dismissed of? I forgot. Like it's been
Yeah.
a bit.
So here's the thing. So it was involuntary manslaughter that he was dismissed by. And basically, the defense argued that prosecutors hid evidence from them about ammunition that may be related to the shooting. Basically, the issue emerged, da 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 da. And then the prosecution said that the ammunition was not connected to the case and was not hidden. Give me a break. So,
Oh yeah, I
uh,
saw something where like evidence was being hidden from.
yeah,
Oh,
it's basically saying it's bad faith. They
yeah,
showed bad signs of bad faith for the trial, which, I mean, I don't know why they would prosecute him in the first place. There were like tons of other people that
make
they could
some
have
money out of
prosecuted.
it.
Yeah, well, and that's the sad thing because it's like the
That's
dude
a
has had 3 years of trial for a killing of a person that he didn't even commit. So,
Yeah. I mean,
um,
like the true uh person actually got accused of was the armor. I don't know. I think we talked about this. I know that we talked about some
we
form
did.
of this at the beginning of the year. I don't know if it was that case. But we did. But the person that was in charge of handing off the gun, what did get was found guilty. So that's the big positive thing out of all of this. And just that someone else didn't get dragged along because of someone else's mistakes. And so
Well, and that's the thing is it's like, they drag this guy. I'm not saying that he's like the greatest person. I'm just saying,
no.
when somebody's innocent and they're getting dragged for some crime that could have been easily prevented with more safety precautions rather than anything that he did himself. I
Well,
it's just unfortunate.
I guess since we're on this topic, well, what safety ways that we can add more to it? Because
Sure.
it goes from the armorer who says it's cold and gives it off to the assistant director, and next to the assistant director knows that it's cold as well and says it's cold and hands it off to the actor. So what other ways between that can, without
Yeah.
involving the
Yeah,
actor
good
checking it out?
example. Well, remember they said we don't even know who bought real ammunition on set.
That too.
That that should be like those types of props should be heavily locked away so that you can't, Bob Joe Schmo can't bring their, 9 millimeter ammo. Oopsie daisy. I
Whoops.
put it I put it with the other ammo. Hopefully we don't discharge it and kill, a camera operator.
Yeah.
So I think for me, it would be for those things like pyrotechnics, anything that's explosive that can shoot, anything along those lines. I don't know the safety precautions and peculiar on this set, but you would think that they would do a better job and have this under surveillance or guard
I would assume
quite
that there's
frequently.
some form of like security guard at all times.
Sure. Well, you
Um,
would assume, but obviously, they let some Joe Schmo walk in there and, put in
yeah,
real ammo
you have Jared
next to
Leto.
fake ammo. Yeah.
Gosh,
I
I
mean,
like well,
it could be like one of those things where they like live, they're like, we're gonna live like our role. So
yeah.
we're gonna use real ammo. And it's like, okay, that's stupid. But I don't know.
Don't tempt Tom Cruise, but like
I was actually thinking about
yeah.
that.
I it's just like we have a movie coming up soon. I believe it's at the end of August. The Crow remake, where in the very first one, or the original one, an actor died on set with, and it was the main actor, and I think it was like either the first thing that they shot or was it the last thing they shot. I forget the whole situation on that movie. But it's like you think like after a certain amount of times that this happened, you think we would have this down, but no, we're still dealing with issues like this.
Yeah. Well, and I think if it's somebody like Tom Cruise who chooses to do stunts that may kill him, I mean, that's
That's his
something where it's
own.
like, yeah, his
Yeah.
purview. But like, hey, we're gonna dangle you out over a balcony next to, an active volcano and be like, this is what CGI and paying good effects artists,
Yeah.
virtual effects. Come on now. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm curious to see if it changes the industry long term. I think it's too early to kind of see just because it's unfortunate. I'm not saying Alec Baldwin is not a great actor or whatever, but I'm just
Is it
saying,
just because it's now a big name actor that fell into this situation that they might do something about it?
yeah,
Who
like,
died in the I
well,
don't
it would
know.
have to be, it would unfortunately have to be somebody like a Tom Holland or something. And then,
Yeah.
like, heaven forbid, of course. But if that happened, oh, you would see like the revolution of, oh my goodness, we have to do something.
Yeah.
They should use water guns. It would be something like that. It's just really sad. I think the case got a lot of visibility, but I think the things that should have been done to prevent it didn't get as much visibility as the actual case itself. So,
Yeah.
my
I
hope
did
is that this inspires change.
Yeah, I did also see people saying like, "Oh no, they threw the case out." It's like, no, they didn't throw the case out. It's like it got dismissed, and now he can't be charged for this ever again, thankfully.
Sure.
Because like I don't think it's any act because I feel like if an actor checks the gun, then more problems would be caused than it
Well,
already has.
and that's not their job.
No,
Like,
they're there to do something else, and so
correct. So the first thing is probably memorizing lines and, trying to capture emotion. Imagine if now you have to worry about like that'd be like worrying about like your zip line breaking
yeah, while you're
or
the
something.
one going down it.
Yeah, you're
It's like,
like, that's not the first thing. I trust my operator. I trust, the individuals with my safety. That's what they get paid to do.
yeah,
So, but
I
no,
don't know.
definitely sad. I'm hoping, all around everybody,
The f-
has
if
some
anything, hopefully
grace.
the family gets something out of this.
Sure.
Uh, that's kind of like the final. I don't. Is there like maybe an investigation on like how Bolt's got on the set, or did they already figure that out?
It didn't say, it said that they didn't know how they got on set. Part of me thinks like, y- could you actually, you'd have to probably look at video camera footage and see who brought it. I mean, we're talking a lot of extra effort, so
Yeah.
who knows? But I don't
Let,
know.
let us.
Hopefully, Alec
Yeah.
Baldwin and the movie, move forward. So,
That's another thing. I don't know if we would ever see this movie.
it would be a good movie. What they should do is release the movie and then donate proceeds to the person who is killed.
Probably.
It would be a
Yeah.
it would be a great opportunity to still have a movie, but also still, honor, because that person still worked on the project. So it's
Yeah.
not like you wouldn't be able to honor their sacrifice and also their ability for, I think she was a camera operator. So even like
Yeah.
recognizing that skill set. So
Well,
um,
let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below on this
yeah,
whole entire situation.
send
Moving on
them.
to the next topic, which is a topic that I'm actually looking forward to. I wasn't expecting this, and if it wasn't for these delays, we wouldn't be talking about this at the moment. But The Last of Us season 2 got some form of teaser. Now this was dropped with a bunch of other like little teasers. Um, that were coming out later this year and next 2025, but we got some form of a Last of Us teaser for season 2. And it looks pretty good. We don't I mean, like, I don't know what else to really go into on the story side without going to spoilers, but I'm looking forward to this, and but from just the stuff that I saw, it really looks like they're going beat for beat by the second game. And I'm hoping that's, with the certain situation that happens in the game, you're gonna have a lot of people upset immediately. And so,
Yeah, I think one, it's a part of the game. You got to do, you have to honor the source material. That's
well,
always honor the source material.
Neil Druckmann is the one that wrote it, and he's part of the show, so he can do whatever he wants and change things around. But
I just, it ruins. So here's the thing. Uh, If you change lines or something, fine. So
uh,
like, I'll ascribe. So Star Wars is a good example. Okay, if we took Mace Windu, who's pretty courageous, no nonsense, very stern character, and then changed him to be a 25-year younger,
what wife?
sure, I
Yeah,
guess, fine, good example. And like that would be so stupid.
yeah.
You would change his dialogue. You can change dialogue. You can change demeanor based upon storytelling or based upon events that happen. So like a good example is Obi-Wan Kenobi. In the TV show, whether you like it or don't like it, you see his demeanor change because he's been like beaten down by all the horrible things that have happened. Um, you can see his demeanor change, but he still is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Where I have a problem with this is when they're like, oh, well, we're not going to include certain things because we don't want to make people mad. It's like, no,
Well,
include that in the show,
it's not the
honor the source material.
it's not the problem what they are going to do. I have a problem with, and what makes people upset. It's the more of the approach to it and how it was
Oh,
executed.
sure.
And this is the opportunity to maybe take a different approach to the situation, because in the game it was more of shock value than suspense. And so, and
I mean,
after a
are
while,
you
what was it?
are you insinuating Abby? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Uh,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I just
like,
want to
and
make sure we're on
with
the same
her whole
page.
entire character and like that whole entire situation that she goes
Sure.
through. And NX with her group, NX when you're focusing on her group, it's like, oh no, the Abby's the good character. Fuck Ellie, screw that character. And it's like, and it's like, no. it's like, and it's supposed to be the point. It's playing the side of like point of views, and it's like, okay, no, we get it, but it's like you want us to like a character that killed a character that we loved way more, and it's like you're trying,
Sure.
and it's hard to balance that out, especially with the way that it was told, and characters making dumb decisions. Like there's this character that was pregnant that was in the field. It's like, why are you out here while you're being pregnant and jumping around and doing all these crazy things? And so there's
So here's the thing. If they wanted to add a little bit more backstory as to why that specific character ends up being killed, totally fine.
no,
Those
there's
types of
the backstory's
changes.
there. It's there. It's just
No, but I mean, if let me describe.
okay.
If they want to make him less likable so that people aren't as mad, I don't know if that would be a good idea, but like to me, there's certain characters where you just they like you love them, you think they're great, and then they go through like trials or tribulation, and like, oh, I actually really don't like you. I think if they wanted to soften the blow, they would have to change that character
Hmm,
backstory wise in that capacity.
that too.
I'm
Yeah.
all for it. Keep it the same. It'll be good. They have great actors.
Yeah.
I saw Mr. Fantastic's in it, so I'm excited. No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, I mean, like, now it could still play out the same, as maybe be better, but there's a situation in the game, and there's this little part in the trailer where we see Abby, where in the game the character blatantly goes like, "Hey, this is my name, and this is so and so," and it's like, what? This is like forced exposition. This doesn't make any sense. And it's like maybe in more of a situation of like, maybe a clicker gets onto that character, and that character shouts out that character's name, and be like, and now Abby knows that's that person, and it's like, all
Sure.
right, so maybe you're the same person I've been looking for. Or
Yeah,
they
I
or
think
they or they can do a situation where Abby's in Alexandria, and she's like, going undercover or some form. Like, do something more at least clever than be like, hey, I'm the character that you want to kill. And so,
well, and here's the thing is what we know about that specific character is not very it isn't as likable as other characters. And so it's difficult because a lot of people are like, no, like we don't want that to happen. And it's like, well,
well, I'm not.
I remember when that first came out. People were mad,
Yes,
so mad.
I was
It was so
upset,
funny.
but when I finished the game, when you look back on it, it's like you really crapped on all the original characters and wanted to and make these new characters the ones that you want to like. And they
Yep.
did it in a way that was unsatisfying. And so they have the opportunity to fix that. More, and this is the issue I have, and now getting to the actual show, this is the issue that I have right now, and this can be easily fixed with their performance, but the cast members look way too young for the characters that they're playing. Now the cast members are actually the age of the actual characters, but when you compare it to Tom Holland, who is, I think, actually 30, he looks like he's 20. He looks like he's 20. And so when you have
Sure.
um Bella, who is 20, but she looks like a 14-year-old still. So it's like kind of like when you have that time jump, it's like you won't be able to notice you won't be able to notice the time jump at all. And so I wish that they maybe went with a different cast this time around. That's kind of like a little nitpick from
Eh,
me.
special effects. Let them do their thing. If they can de-age Anakin, they got it.
Well, I mean, they can easily
So
throw makeup on their face to make them look a little older,
sure,
but
that is
they
true.
didn't do that. That's the thing. They didn't do
Haircut
that.
too. Yeah. So
Um,
no, I'm definitely excited. I'm curious to know if our listeners are excited for this. Uh, in full transparency, this is not like my Last of Us is
Cup of
not my
tea.
game. It's also
Yeah.
not my show.
Yeah.
But I do respect the the acting as well as like the storytelling,
Yeah.
especially for the game. So overall, very good.
Yeah.
So
I'm curious to see what they're gonna do with it. And then this game is gonna be split up into two seasons. So we're gonna get season 2 and season 3. And probably before season 3 is over, we're probably gonna get the Last of Us Part 3 game at some point. Um Yeah, The Last of Us universe is just ranking up, and I'm curious what they're gonna do it, and I'm curious how maybe the watchers will take it differently from people that played the game. I'm curious to hear their thoughts on that aspect of maybe how it's told. And so I don't know. Let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Are you guys excited, or do you already hate and you're gonna just hate watch? Let us know. Moving on. So this is something that we talked last month about. Paramount was in the talks with Sony and Sony about maybe buying them, but Paramount has finally came with a deal with Skydance to merge. So now Skydance doesn't fully own Paramount; they just own a portion of it. And because I forget the person that they were talking with, that person wanted to sell off their portion of Paramount, and so Skydance has that portion. Now, what does that mean for the company? We still have to wait and see. I was more looking forward to Sony side because Sony seemed like they were more of going to try to save money from the company and shut like sell a lot of things and shut things down to make the company more profitable. But Skydance doesn't want to do that, and Paramount doesn't want to do that. They want to keep things more together, and so but with this merger, there's talks with HBO Max to combine Paramount Plus and Max together. So there's that merge as well.
Yay, another streaming cost.
Hey,
Just kidding.
well, you don't actually have to, well, the price probably will go up, but hey, you don't need to pay for two different streaming services now. And maybe
So
Paramount will get better shows and not
here's the
they
thing
will.
that's interesting about this. So uh, they reached, an agreement, right, with Skydance. They still have a 45-day window to find a better offer called a shop period, which I think is interesting. But they're the production company known for like Top Gun Maverick, The Godfather,
Mission
etc.
Impossible. It's yeah.
It is fascinating to me because one, Paramount has some really good content. And so I'm interested to
Oh, you
see
think
like they
Halo's
own.
great? You love Halo?
I think it'll be good. What's his name? Christopher Nolan or whatever. Was it Christopher Nolan? He starts looking at it. Well, that's what we're working
Oh,
towards. But no, it'll be good. Godfather, Top Gun, Forrest Gump, you name it. They have some great content. So I think if they bring those together to a platform between HBO as well as or Max, excuse me, sorry, as well as uh some of the other stuff, they're great. They're primed in good position. I think the only thing to keep, an eye out on is that Paramount has a huge debt of almost $15 billion.
yeah,
So
that's
they're not going to get a lot of other deals. They just won't. Too much risk.
that's why this
Yeah,
merger was important for them. And honestly, I think Sony would have been the best option because Sony would have.
probably. But Sony just doesn't spend money like that. I mean, Sony's still waiting for their cool car to come out, the Afila or whatever, the
Oh yeah,
Honda Sony car.
aren't they supposed to get a car? Yeah. I don't know, but Sony. Well, I mean, Sony offered them like how many, like $7 billion for the company. Wasn't that the? No, it was like 28 billion, I think.
I'm sure it's probably a lot. Not
So,
surprised.
but I don't know. I'm very well, probably nothing's gonna change from this, but good for I guess Skydance for I guess saving the company slightly. I mean, uh, we'll probably definitely get more Mission Impossible films and top definitely Top Gun 3, which is I guess that's a topic that we could have talked about is that Glenn Powell dropped a hint for Top Gun 3 and that there's an idea for a start filming date. So there's that. But I don't know. Let us know what you guys' thoughts on Paramount's merger with Skydance. That's kind of like not as a deep depth topic like we did with Sony last month. But let us know in the comment section below. Now we're moving on to another with another Paramount film, Gladiator 2. I a lot of people might
Okay.
a lot of people might be mad, but I've never seen the first Gladiator. Mm.
I think I'm gonna have to end this right now. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, let's go watch Gladiator right
That
now.
that is a shocking, shocking I would have never expected you to say that.
I never see American Psycho either.
Gladiator is, I mean, that one's not as, I mean, Gladiator is Gladiator.
Oh yeah.
And the first one was incredibly good. Um, the second one, I'm very excited for.
Hmm.
I have been holding hope out for it to be really good, and I'm definitely going to see that when it comes out, like immediately.
Yeah.
Um,
The first,
it's
it's
so
the
good.
second half of the trailer that kind of threw me off with that music change. Is like with that rap music. I was like, what? This is dumb. But
I think they're just trying to make it more relatable for people to see it. You have to
yeah,
remember people are just kind of silly. So, but no, it looks fantastic. I think it's going to be great. I think they picked a pretty good cast. I
yeah,
think overall, overarchingly, it's going to have a really good. It's going to be really good.
yeah,
So,
and it's gonna be like a revenge storyline with the son. Um, and I guess Pedro Pascal has some form to do with like his father's death. Like, what do you know anything about Pedro Pascal's character being at least has to do with the first one?
so it's hard because I don't remember like who's who because obviously the original cast that had to have been like 20 years ago.
I
Let's
think
see,
it was like
Gladiator,
21,
2000, 24 years
not
ago.
2001. Yeah.
So wow. But Joaquin Phoenix, oh, so good. I mean, Richard Harris is in
They didn't
it,
get
Russell
Joaquin Phoenix
Crowe.
back unless he died in it. Did
I
Joaquin?
mean, I'm gonna let you watch the movie.
Oh,
We're
okay.
not gonna spoil it.
He
Come
probably
on now.
died. Um,
Come on now.
he's
You
a
gotta
char
watch the movie.
he's an actor that usually dies in his films, and so
Him and is it Sean Bean? I don't know who was the guy who always dies?
Pedro
He dies in
Pascal
everything.
always dies too. Like he died in like Game of Thrones, uh, some other stuff that's coming
What?
up.
I've never seen Game of Thrones. Everybody's gonna be like, "Oh my gosh!" And
Oh my
so,
gosh. But
uh,
yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I like the arena. I from my understanding that they actually remade the arena that's supposed to be from the first one. But
yeah,
like they added some new set pieces to it, like a water set piece in it, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. You got to do
yeah,
something new and clever and different. And I believe that this was a sequel that was supposed to come out years ago. I think they had idea for a sequel a long time ago. It's just that never happened. And so it's just now that it's happening.
I'm just sad that they have so many. I feel like they're running out of ideas in Hollywood. I'm surprised they're not using Chat GPT
Yeah.
to come up with.
Well, no, I guarantee they've used that plenty of times. But yeah, like, there's this talk going around like, they don't make original stuff anymore. When there is original stuff, but not no one goes out and see it, or if it is original, it costs way too much to make, and people not enough people go out and see it where it makes the money that they want to make. So, but you have movies like Long Legs that cost $10 million to make, and it makes I think it's at 80 million now at the box office. And so it's like clearly people will go out and see original content. It's that for one, it has to be good. You have to make the movie good. Two, not everything's going to make $1 billion. Not everything's going to be Deadpool. And so, and you just got to know how to budget your films. And yeah, that's kind of how the industry is at the moment. It's just knowing how to budget your film. And like Twister's being at $150 million, and I believe it's now just hitting $300 million at the box office.
So
uh
crazy.
and which
I
that
mean,
broke even, and now you also include tax write-offs as well, so that movie is profitable. So
I mean, I'm not quite certain how these, Hollywood studios get it, but I'm sure they made a
yeah,
decent chunk of change.
they
Uh,
would have made a bunch of money
but
off that Bad Girl movie that looked
oh my
awful.
gosh.
People would have
Uh,
paid to go see that
uh,
billion-dollar film. So let us know in your comment section below on Gladiator
please.
2. I'm looking forward to it. I like Pedro Pascal. He's playing one of my favorite characters in The Last of Us. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's going to have some involvement in the Mandalorian movie. I don't think he's going to play Mando himself, but you probably do the voice acting for it.
Sure.
Um,
Which will be cool.
yeah.
So
Moving on
decent.
to, what was it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I introduce these? I want to
Yeah.
introduce these together because I think they're important. Would you say? You would say that they'd be able to be linked together because of the person that we're talking about, correct?
Yeah, but like they kind of involve two different franchises. But
I know, but that's a great thing. So I'll mention the first one and then we'll go into the second because I want to bring these thoughts cohesively together. So Tom Cruise, my guy, getting up there in age, but he is still doing
like
plane stunts
65.
for Mission Impossible 8. I think he's like 66. Dude is killing it. I mean, I'm surprised. You know what's going to happen? He is going to do a stunt of his own death
Yeah,
and
no.
then come alive again when he's like 130.
Yeah.
Dude is crazy. And so for me, tons of respect. Like, bro should win. They should add a category for best stunt,
I don't know why there
which maybe
isn't.
they will. Yeah,
Like,
dude will win it every year.
yeah, that's the
Like
problem, probably why they don't. He would be the only one that wins. And
they'd be
so,
like, and for the
and
1000th Grammy, we now bring up our best stunt, Tom Cruise.
yeah,
And he's like walking up in a wheelchair. You're like, oh, or
yeah.
wheeling up in a
It's like
wheelchair. Dude is crazy.
Ryan Gosling in the runnings. Oh, well, it's Tom Cruise. Yeah. It's like, oh, it's the movie about
they're
stunt
like,
guys.
and now to introduce our nominees. When they come up and they're like Tom Cruise in Top Gun Maverick 87 11 fights the Russians. Next up, Tom Cruise in
Yeah.
Mission Impossible 27. Next up, Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible 27 and a half. He'd probably get nominated for every movie that he's in. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think he
but
actually has won an Oscar. Maybe he has won one. I don't think.
you have to remember his movie types aren't for that
Well, before like
particular.
that, before the big action movies, he was in a lot of like, pretty good acting films like, Rayman or the football film. I forget the name of the football.
Or A Few Good Men.
A Few Good Men. Yeah, that was a good one. Like, so he has his acting chops, but he lately been just like, I'm the action dude.
I wonder if he won something for that one. I genuinely don't know. Let's go look. Tom
But
Cruise.
I like Tom Cruise and I like that he's pushing and hopefully sooner or later this pushes people to do more of their own stunts. Now it doesn't have to be the crazy of like how Tom Cruise is. Tom Cruise just wants to do it because that's his thing. He wants to do that. But if someone else comes along and wants to do it somewhat like Tom Cruise's level, then great. But this should probably encourage more actors to do their own stunts instead of relying on someone else. And so
Agreed. Let's see. Awards and Legacy.
he was probably nominated, but I
Yeah.
don't think he won anything.
Let's see. He won a Golden Globe, it looks
Uh,
like.
well, that's not cool. No, I'm joking. That's better than me. I don't got any awards. Um, I'm just
It's pretty crazy.
this is my award. That That's the only award I got.
Oh my goodness. So, but like Risky Business, Top Gun, Color of Money, Rain Man,
That's
Born
what it
on the
was
Fourth of
called.
July.
Uh,
For
Risky bit.
his portrayal of Ron Kovac in The Ladder, he won a Golden Globe Award and received a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Actor.
Oh, okay. So good for him. But that's just not really his thing anymore.
Uh, yeah, He's had numerous Academy Award nominations, but hasn't won. But he's won numerous Golden Globe Awards.
Yeah.
So good for him. No, so that actually brings me to the second topic, which I think is interesting. So Tom Cruise is also in talks for Edge of Tomorrow, a sequel. Um, 10 years later is what they're looking at. I'm
Yeah.
interested to
Well,
see.
I I heard something about like as soon as the first one came out, they wanted to do one, but Emily Blunt was so busy at the time that they just could never do it. But I believe that this question got brought up in an interview either with the director or it was either with Tom Cruise saying that like no, yeah, we still want to do it. It's just about getting Emily Blunt on board with it. And it's like I don't at this point, if Emily Blunt is too busy, you can probably do it without her.
Probably, but she's great. I think we need to
No,
keep
yeah.
Emily Blunt in it. She's a great
I
character.
just don't know what else you
Uh,
can do with her in the film than what she already was. Her purpose in the first one. And anyway, I'm fine with them not doing a sequel. I would probably like them not to because I like the first one a lot. I think it ended perfectly well enough. Like, all right, they know where the well, the brain is. All right, you can put it together like they went off and
yeah,
won the war.
let's blast it.
And
Let's just blow it
so,
up, everybody. Call it a day.
yeah, but if they do a sequel, I would be curious, but at the same time, it's like, what would they do? Like,
They
they
could
find
do the
out
prequel to when they arrived. I know they said sequel. It would be better if they did a prequel,
and just
or
do
if
it
they
with
did just
Emily Blunt as the host.
yeah, that would be cool.
But you already know the story. That's the thing. And so
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan of prequels because prequels is like you already know what's going to happen, and so unless you're going into it the first time in the franchise, and so I would like a
yeah.
Jaws prequel with Quint.
I
Like,
oh
yeah,
that would be a good. I respect that.
yeah,
I think for me, the reason why I'm so excited for this is because Tom Cruise has put out some really good movies. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's the same," and blah blah blah. No,
no.
the dude has good movies. They're entertaining. They're
This, I
action.
mean,
He
the
does
story
his
is
own
very
stunts.
similar, but it's the stunts you
But,
go for. That's what you go for. And
correct. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm curious to hear. I'm curious to hear what our viewers, and listeners think about this because I know for me, I like Tom Cruise. Everybody's like, "Oh, I don't like him as a person." Blah blah blah. Don't care.
it's about
I
his
think he's
movies.
great.
You
He's
don't have to
fun
hang
to
out with the
watch.
dude. It's like,
Yeah, he's got good movies. So he
uh,
seems nice. Like every time you see him on TV and stuff, he looks like a nice guy. So,
yeah, he just
uh,
might
you know,
have a weird personality at times. People will bring up, like, you remember the time where he jumped on a table? It's like, I'm pretty sure that was all
no.
staged for one. I think
Remember that? Remember that one time that you did something that you didn't like? Yeah, exactly.
you
So,
remember that he was
move
in
along,
that one
people.
terrible movie. It's like, yeah, I remember all M. Night Shyamalan's terrible movies, but it doesn't mean I try to hold it back on the
Oh
next
my
one.
gosh.
And
I
now
haven't
his
seen
daughters,
I haven't seen the concert one. Is it good?
oh, terrible, terrible.
Oh,
I don't have a review up at the time of recording this. I mean, I have it recorded. I just need to edit it. So that will should be up at any moment.
fill me
But
in. Yeah, let
it's
me know when it's up. I gotta go watch
it
it.
was just literally just a whole entire movie promoting his daughter's music, which was pretty good. Her music's not bad. She's terrible at acting though. So stick to music. Um, yeah,
Honestly, yeah. So, but
singers
nope.
and singers and acting don't go well unless you're the Jonas brother. But
Is he good at?
only one of them acts, I think, not all of them. I think it's only I forget his name. He was in the Jumanji, like the sequels to Jumanji.
Oh, I love Jumanji.
Yeah. I like those movies. I find them fun. All right, but let us know in the comment section below on
Please do.
I guess on Tom Cruise and Trap. And moving on to bigger news, Captain America, a new Brave World trailer. I'm looking forward to this movie,
Hey,
but this trailer looked awful.
you're not Steve Rogers.
Yeah, it's like thanks. I know that.
I I thought so. Hear me out. I thought the writing of that was interesting.
I
Um,
do like the dynamic between and Harrison Ford and Anthony Mackie in that scene. I do like that.
sure. I
But
think my argument though, and I always bring it back to this, is how frequently do so Marvel and Disney has not been known for writing the last 2 years, right? 10 years. Um, when we go and look at them, were they I'm trying to think of a good way to excuse me, a good way to describe this. Anthony Mackie didn't have maybe the best reception for him being. You remember everybody's like, oh, okay, Captain America, blah blah blah. Don't care, whatever.
I
Anthony
mean,
Mackie's
he
cool. I
becomes
think
Captain America in the comics anyway. So
exactly. Thank you. And he's gonna do great. Great personality. He's a lot of fun. He
He's
seems like a
funny.
cool dude.
I
Yeah. Oh
love
yeah.
his roasting Tom Holland. I love that stuff.
Oh
Did you
yeah.
see
I
him
do
at
too.
CinemaCon where he's like, tell Tom Holland I got Harrison Ford.
Oh my goodness, I did
It's
not. But look how smart he's great, and he'll be
yeah.
excellent at this role. I think for me though is that when they stoke the flame, they're like, "You're not Steve Rogers." That writing, although true,
Yeah.
may hurt his reception as a character because then people are going to be,
He probably
uh,
I think what the film's going to have to do is like, get the show kind of did it. The Winter Soldier and the Falcon show kind of did it. Or is it Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Maybe the other way around.
yeah,
Um
you're right.
he has to gain that trust as Captain America. And I think we slightly got that at the end of the show, but it's now proving to the world that like, hey, Steve Rogers is gone. We need someone here to take up the mantle. It has to be him. So like that's what the movie has to do for the characters in the movie, but also to us as the audience.
Yeah.
And I think we're still
Well,
not ready for maybe
uh,
the next Captain America.
I really wish they would have just slowed down some of these releases of the films.
Oh no,
Um,
that's what they're trying to do, but some of these are already in production. It's like, well,
I know.
and that was mostly because
We'll
of
see.
Bob JPEG. Um, I don't know how well Bob Iger is doing, but whatever he is doing, we're not going to see still for a couple of years. We're slightly starting to see it with like slight cancellations
You're
on
seeing them like cutting stuff.
Yeah, well, like they have to cancel some projects to make stuff
Yeah,
better. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's just that the trailer doesn't look finished. And
sure.
hopefully that just because it's the trailer, it's like, all right, well, we need something out there for CinemaCon, show that or whatever. Well, no, this didn't even come out for CinemaCon. This came out before CinemaCon. But like they felt the need, like, hey, we need a trailer for this movie right now. So it just didn't look finished. Hopefully when the movie comes out, that those fighter jets look real and not like from a video game because those looked
Oh,
awful. They looked really bad.
yeah. I think they always shore up stuff after the release of the trailer, like prior to final production. So we should be good.
Yeah.
So
But I mean, what do you think of Harrison Ford as Red Hulk?
too old.
Too old.
I mean, I'm sorry. They could have just found so many different actors
They just
to
wanted to
be.
do another Indiana Jones movie, but him become the Hulk. That's what they wanted to do. No.
I, I love I love Harrison Ford. He has some great movies like Air Force One, Indiana Jones. He also has Patriot Game. I think it's Patriot Games. He's been in
The
some really cool, fun films.
the
Star
Fugitive.
Wars, obviously.
I love The
The Fugitive
Fugitive.
is good. Yeah, he's been in a ton of great movies, and so it's like when they keep using the same retread actors, where it's like, hey, he was in like 5,000 films, but here he is again. Um,
Well,
yeah.
dude gotta pay his bills. He's gotta pay for that $5 billion house that he has, right?
Oh my goodness. Apparently,
But I don't know. It's and they kind of do a nice. It's probably they also do. It's like it's a nice little nod that he's president once again. You remember that movie that he was president in, um, and get off my plane. Uh,
I think that's Air Force One, isn't it?
yeah, it is. And so
Great movie. It's a great movie.
I just don't. I'm just curious what he's gonna bring to the role after the late passing of the previous actor that played him. I don't know. Like, I don't know who would have done. I don't know who would have been a better choice if even the other actor was still alive. I don't know. Like, Red Hulk with an older actor is still a risky move no matter what because then you, you don't know what that because like that actor is probably not used to doing those type of mocaps. I guarantee Harrison Ford is like he just thinks of this as like another paycheck, and it's like when he gets asked these comic book questions, he doesn't really care, which is fine. He doesn't really. I don't think he should, but I think they could have probably gone with other someone else. I like Harrison Ford, but they could have probably gone with someone else. Um, Speaking of people they chose over, but yeah, let us know in the comment section below on your thoughts on Captain America: A Brave New World. Do you like it? Let us know. But speaking of like people that they just chose for at Comic-Con, the Russo brothers are coming back to do um Avengers 5 and 6. During this Comic-Con, they revealed that Avengers 5 isn't going to be called Kane Dynasty, which I figured a lot what we probably all figured a long time ago after the situation with Jonathan Majors. Um
Was very upset. That was bad.
yeah.
And I feel bad for that whole situation for both of them.
Yeah.
So
And and it's not like when he got charged for stuff, he got charged for like the lighter stuff. And next when you read into it, apparently he was trying to get that person out of his car, and it's just turned into a terrible situation, I guess, from at least what I read. Um, but now they changed the name to from Avengers Kane's Dynasties to Avengers Doomsday. So during that, they revealed who is going to play Doctor Doom, which is Robert Downey Jr., which a lot of people in the auditorium cheered. But then when you go and read Twitter, everyone's upset. And it's like this is going to confuse a lot of people, and it's like if you went and saw Deadpool and Wolverine, uh, if you're not confused how Wolverine's alive from Logan, and you go into confuse into Avenger, but you go into confuse Avengers Doomsday, then I'm confused on how you don't understand.
mhm.
Now, if you don't like the decision, that's different. But I don't think people will go in and being confused. And the thing that kind of gets on my nerves, which I mean, I did post a tweet saying that this is kind of desperate, but a lot of people are going in a way, but it's like, it's a desperate way that they kind of, but they do need to kind of be desperate to save the MCU because the MCU is in a tragic state. But people are going in and saying like this is a bad thing, like, oh, they're just being desperate, and it's like, so bringing back Hugh Jackman, that's not being desperate. Bringing back there's so many other characters I could say, it's like that's not being desperate. But I'm curious to see what they will do with RDJ. I think, and he's a great actor, and so he can bring something interesting to the character. But I think what people are upset about is like, but we want a true original Doctor Doom from the comics. It's like the MCU's never been true to the comics, so it's like this has never been. Why is this an argument about the MCU not following the comics? And it's like it's not like we can never get that version of Doctor Doom, but they've already tried the original Doctor Doom like 4 times. They tried it back in like didn't they do it back in the 60s?
I
They
think
did,
they did. Yeah.
and now we got the 2000s one, and we got the one in the from 2015. And guess what? All 4 of them sucked. And so it's like they already tried 4 times, and it's like maybe try something different, and going with a maybe Tony Stark variant of Doctor Doom could be interesting. But that doesn't mean this is our going to be our main Doctor Doom forever. He's just probably going to be for these 2 films, maybe show up in Fantastic Four for a tiny bit, and that's going to be the last time we'll see of this version. Which, did you see how much he's getting paid for this?
I did. He's getting literally a boatload of money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the budget on these films is going to cost like $400 million, because like that's ridiculous. Like he's getting paid like $80 million for both films. But I
He's
think
making a boatload of money.
he's supposed to get roughly around $100 million, depending on like profit wise, I think, because he's definitely gonna get cut of the box office. He usually does in there, in the other films. That's like that was part of his contract in like the other films, was getting a piece of the box office. And so yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, honestly, I think that one, the perspective of, well, first off, the fact reception is going to be important. I think it doesn't matter how good the film is. I think that if people have already had this inclination, oh, I'm not going to like this, or I don't think it's going to work, or I feel like it could have been this person instead, or blah, 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 you've basically sabotaged the film before it even came out.
Yeah.
And so I'm interested to see how the reception is and how it grows over the next, year and a half or so. Because I think
It's when
that's gonna be the time, the
yeah,
test of time.
when we get our first trailer and people see him in the role, I guarantee people will switch over on an instant. If it comes out to be good. Um,
I hope so. I really do hope so. So
but it's just
you never
like
know.
the complaints that I see from some people. It's funny, like I would read some comments of people like, oh, but I like there's better actors like Cillian Murphy or Michael Fassbender. And it's like, wait, Michael Fassbender? It's like you're getting mad at Robert Downey Jr. to come back, but you want Michael Fassbender, who was in previous X-Men, previous Marvel films. And that you don't think that would be desperate? Okay, that's kind of strange. It's like, and because their argument's like, well, they already played a character in the MCU. Let other actors play. Now, it doesn't mean I don't disagree, but it's like at the same time, you're making a dumb argument when you throw another in
Sure.
Marvel actor into the role. And so,
And that's
uh,
why I said we'll see the reception.
yeah,
It's just a matter of time.
I
So
did see one comment saying like, why even put him in the role when he's most of the time he's going to be wearing a mask and probably going to be voice acting. It's like that's what he did as Iron Man. That's literally what he
I
did.
mean,
So
that is literally what he did for Iron Man.
like
So
literally Doctor Doom is Iron Man, but an evil version. He's literally the same type of character. So he's kind of like this rich dude, but less charming. So I'm curious, and I'm more curious to see what the Russo brothers are going to do. They made 5 great films. They did Winter Soldier, Civil War, uh the Infinity War, and Endgame. So 4. They did good 4 good films. And so I'm curious to see what they want to do. And I believe that's what I think they wanted to bring Robert Downey Jr. back as Doctor Doom, but he said like only if the Russo brothers come in and direct the film. So that's how they got wrapped into this. But outside of Marvel films that they've done terrible things, awful movies. So
we don't talk about those. But
The
I'm
Gray
curious to hear
Man.
everybody's thoughts. I'm curious to hear everybody's thoughts. Robert Downey Jr., Doctor Doom, yay,
Yep.
nay?
What do you think?
If you
Well,
know,
this is kind of interesting because that Doomsday is probably going to lead into Battle Earth, which Battle Earth will lead into Secret Wars. So do you think that they'll release movies between Doomsday and Secret Wars to show off Battle Earth? Which, do you know what Battle Earth is in the comics as?
yeah, I'm not a big. I've read some of the comics and looked into them. Uh, I'm honestly all the multiverses, Battle Earth, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
They need to slow their roll and perfect one thing at a time. Because then, if you like slow it and do it well, you have content for years,
Yeah. Well,
years.
they did have
And they're
years, but
like,
they didn't do anything with those years. It's
yeah,
been
they
um
like created a bunch of crap
yeah.
and then called it good.
Well, this is the problem I'm going to have with Doomsday already is that Kang was supposed to be our main villain of the MCU so far. Yet we threw that away. So basically, we had no main villain of the MCU for the past 7 years. No, has it been 6 to 7 years? And so and now Doomsday's around literally around the corner. We
Yeah.
have like we have 3 more MCU films, and they all are coming out next year, I think, or like no, only 2 are coming out next year. And
I think
next
two come out. Yeah.
and Thunderbolts are coming out is either coming out the year after that before Secret Wars. And so and next it's literally into Avengers Doomsday. By then, that is not enough time to set up a big baddie. Like, throughout the phase 1 and phase 2, we had Thanos being hinted at throughout some of the films and like knowledge to. Out of nowhere, it's like, hey, I'm Doctor Doom, and you're all here because of me. And it's like, oh, well, cool.
they'll do they'll do a good job. They'll figure out some way to incorporate it. I think there's alignment to say less content, let's release something better.
Yeah.
So I think we give them the opportunity to do so and see what they do with it.
I
So
just want them to get to the mutant saga, mutant saga, mutants.
they'll get there eventually.
I,
Like
I
I
want
said,
I
they're
just want
reevaluating. You can tell it.
Oh no, for sure. I just want a new X-Men film because I really like the X-Men
Sure.
movies and seeing
No,
and
that's
I
fair.
want I want to see what they can do with it. I honestly think Wolverine's my favorite on-screen movie character. I like Hugh Jackman's versions of Wolverine, and so I'm curious to see who they will pick as these new cast members. But yeah, let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below on this matter. Are you guys excited for Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars? I do like Avengers Secret Wars new font. I do like that as a nice little orange red color.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a good touch, but they'll need a lot more to make it great.
yeah.
So
Um, but yeah, let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. And I don't know why this is I'm looking at the email. It's
hey, I
copied it
got you.
twice.
I can lead the next one.
Okay.
No, so this one's just talking about June 3 and Star Wars episode 10 releasing the same day in 2026. I'm just going to say that's so stupid. The reason that Hollywood plans, they try and plan around different film types,
Yeah.
different franchises. You're basically competing for the same dollar.
One of them's gonna
No,
move. Like, I don't
I
think
thought
this.
they weren't.
No, like they're like I guarantee. Well, it's like that's 2 years away. I guarantee in that 2 years, one of them is gonna move, and I see Star Wars moving. Um,
Hopefully, because Dune 3, I think, is going to run Star Wars out of the
no,
box
well
office.
that's the thing is like they're both going for the same demographic, and so they're gonna do is just even the playing film and hurt both films. So but I do think Dune will probably come more on top than Star Wars because Star Wars is not in a good state at all.
Sure.
And so, but the movie that's coming out for Star Wars is that Rey movie that no one asked for. And
Well,
the more stuff
she's a
I hear about,
Skywalker,
no, she's
so
not. Shut up. She's adopted Skywalker. There,
you'll
fine.
want to see her.
And people was like, "Oh, you hate adopted people." It's like, what? No. And the stuff, but the more stuff I hear about the movie, it's just like it's even. I don't like any. I don't know why they go out on interviews saying like, "Oh, it's because it's you're the first woman to direct a Star Wars movie," or it's like or like the Acolyte actor that went on interviews saying like, "Oh, the whole point of the show is to make white men cry." It's like, why are you saying this stuff on interviews? Why does this have to do with anything? All you're doing is
I mean, it gets views,
well, no, it gets
so
views and that's the whole point. But it's like, and like the whole point is to get people mad. It's like, but why? Why is that the point? And so, and
some people are just don't make sense.
yeah,
So
it just doesn't make me excited for this movie. I'm excited for the Mandalorian movie, and they're not going out saying crap like that. There's like, let's just make a good film first, and that's the
that's
whole.
true.
It's like that's like your main that should be your main focus, and instead of like blaming the fans, screw you, Kathleen Kennedy. Screw you, Leslie Headland.
Oh
Uh,
my goodness. Yeah,
we're
I
gonna
don't
get into
dislike
a
them that
rant
much.
later.
They can do their thing. So,
I
but
don't know. I'm curious, and I'm looking forward to Dune. I really
yeah.
like I love Dune Part Two, and I'm just curious. I'm more curious what they're gonna do with that one because it's gonna be based off the second book, which I've heard isn't the greatest. I've heard
Um,
there's
the book's okay. It's not terrible, but I think the first two were definitely more entertaining. Or like how the films kind of diagnose
yeah.
was definitely more entertaining. Now you're going to get into more of the lore and religion part of it, which may not be as fun for a lot of people. So,
Oh, okay, that's
but
probably what the turnoff point was for a lot
yeah,
of people. And so someone turns it into a worm, or is that a later book? I think that's a
there's a lot of weird stuff that happens in those books. Going to be honest.
yeah. But
So,
hey, we
uh,
got Dune Prophecy to look forward to later this year, so there's that.
can we? I really want to talk about this next topic because you and your popcorn bucket fascinations.
Oh, well, we got to talk about something else before that. But yeah,
What did I miss?
there's like the in the capitalized section. But let us know your guys'
Oh,
yeah. So hopefully you brought your
uh,
knowledge, but let us know your guys' thoughts on the comment section below on the Dune and Star Wars released same day. Do you guys think they'll move, or if they come out on the same day, that's a terrible decision, and you guys will screw both of your films over? Let us know in the comment section below. Now, speaking of the Acolyte, me and Sean O'Rourke were supposed to do a spoiler review. Didn't happen. It just didn't work out on timing wise. But we do have some other stuff planned out in the future that we'll do. But so we're gonna kind of make it here for part of this podcast, talking about the Acolyte spoiler stuff that I didn't get to talk about in my season review. And it's not going to be as much of a deep dive as I want it to be because we got still a lot of other stuff to talk about. So where do you want to go? Where do you want to go off with this? Just release your anger.
I mean, the lightsaber fights were kind of cool.
That's not
So
anger.
you
But that's
you
all
can give them
that's all
you
that
can
they
give them
have.
credit. I mean, they shish kebabbed a bunch of Jedi and stabbed a bunch of people. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, but if you
Uh,
think about that, then it brings up the question of like why of like how do they cover this up? So well they no, they actually do explain it, but it's dumb. Um yeah, no, I'll agree that the lightsaber fights were cool, and I think my favorite character out the whole entire show is the Sith Lord. Well, he's not really a lord, but Chimere, I think that's his name.
Kamir, yeah, I think
Chimere.
that's how you say it.
I didn't enjoy that he showed off his butt. I didn't like that part, and but I guess Osha did. That's what got her to go to the dark side, was showing off her his butt talks. But I guess let's start from the beginning, I guess. Ep- Wait. See, episode like the
Well,
first two
how do you even
episodes
start
were
at the beginning?
well, like the first two episodes were like this is where I first thought the show was going to be. It's like it's just okay, it seems meh. It's not really anything special in the first two episodes. But but in the first episode you have Carrie S. Moss, Carrie, how you say her name? Carrie S. Moss? I don't. That's not how you say her
Oh,
name.
yeah, it's close enough. I'm really bad with names. You're asking the wrong person.
She played Trinity in the Matrix films, and that was like her big, pushing off. Like she was basically almost the face of the marketing, and she's dead in the first 10 seconds from a little knife, but just a little knife. So lightsabers going through people doesn't kill people, but a little tiny knife will kill a Jedi. That's well, whatever, fine,
In
cool.
fairness, she threw the knife pretty fast, so it went through her
But I don't.
ish.
You can survive from a little tiny. It's like a fruit knife. Fruit like I don't think fruit knives are even that dangerous. But yeah. So there's like little stuff like that I have an issue with, and it's the whole characters like going back and forth with one another. With episode 3, there's a flashback whole entire scene episode with Osha and May, and just them going back and forth like I love you, I hate you. It's like where is this coming from? And next, you get to episode 7, it's trying, and next, like, it's a whole different point of view. It's like we literally just rewatched episode 3. That's all it was. Like we rewatched an episode that I hated, and now I hate it even more because you made me rewatch it, and just
Episode 8 should have been from the perspective of the building.
yeah. But it's like the thing is when you think about of episode 7, it's Soul telling that story to May, who was there. And next, when you watch the episode, May was literally in the situation, knowing what's going on. And it's like, what was even the point? You're like, why are you telling this to May? It's like, if I was May, I'd be like, yeah, I know, I was there, asshole. It's like I literally saw you kill my mom. But it's like, in Soul's defense, her mom did turn into a smoke demon. So um
Um, the smoke demon part was kind of funny.
I
You
was
got to
like, this is
admit that was a
stupid.
comedy.
I was like, it's like, and next when OSHA hears about this, it's like, you killed my mom. And it's like, well, she did, you know, cause a lot of issues, and she did, you know, this was essentially a cult. And like, you know, the whole point of the show is that the Jedis were the pressure when really the Jedi were there to find a disturbance in the Force, and next, or it's like a virgins in the Force, and next when they find the virgins in the Force situation, the council's got like, no, return home. Or it's like, wait, what? We were sitting here to find the thing, and next we find the thing, and next now you want us to go home? That makes no sense. Stupid, dumb. And it's like, you know, it's just bad. Like, the show just has bad communication, and then with a simple communication, everything would have been solved. Literally everything been solved. But since a character says like, since Osha tells Soul to shut up, Soul just goes like, okay, I'll shut up. Won't tell you
Okay,
the situation
OSHA
is.
was great. OSHA
OSHA
was a great
sucked.
character.
I hate
Oh,
it. Like, this is
that's too funny.
like, I don't know. Like, it's hard to like any of the characters when none of them are likable. Even the good characters that were like Soul, who was likable, but then is an idiot and tries to kill May when he needs May alive to prove that, you know, there was this vergence of the Force. It just didn't make any sense. And like, you know, this whole marketing, like, hey, our fight scenes was better um than the Phantom Menace with Darth Maul, and it wasn't. And you know, and they trash Soul, and you know, Soul gets thrown under the bus and is
And
blamed.
they'll probably use this. They'll
And
retcon his character in 10 years and then make him better. Just wait.
they've ruined Darth Plagueis. Darth
I mean,
Plagueis
he was only in it. He was only in it for like 42 seconds
exactly.
or 4.2 seconds.
Exactly.
So
Well, see, the thing is that, and I think Leslie Headland confirmed that Plagueis is a Chimera's master. And so
which is weird.
which is like, if you read the comics, and but I haven't, but I've done my research on it, is that Plagueis, he never had an actual Padawan until Palpatine. He had like different associates like he was looking at for to become his Padawan, or become his uh yeah, essentially Padawan. I forget the other word, or acolyte, some form of acolyte. But in this, Chimera is his Padawan, and like, you know, and just like, but and next the whole, you know, two daughters being created out of the Force. It's like, oh, so he got the idea from them, and it's like, that's stupid. It's like he's just
Uh,
copying off of them.
no.
The only way that they can fix this is that if he's the one, um, that created the witches and planted them to as test subjects. That's the only
There's
way that
no way.
that's the only
No
way
way.
to fix it.
They'll figure something else out because the
Or
force
just
always
or just
how the
delete the
force
show.
manifests how the force manifests in different force users obviously can come through wisdom. So you look at it from like Qui-Gon Jinn and his ability to like master the force. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't know. I'm like didn't love it, didn't hate it. I was just like
Well,
me.
it's just confusing when you think about the Phantom Menace, and next when you think about, see, the show as a whole, the show, and when you think of it connecting to the future stuff, doesn't make any sense, and it sucks. But even the show by itself sucks. It's awful by itself. So that says something when even by
Let me know how
itself.
let me know how you really feel.
And so, but like, and like, you know, Yoda popping up at the final moment of the show, it's like, so wait, Yoda can't sense that, you know, this person that's walking in can't, like, he can't sense like she's about to lie to him about what's going on.
I genuinely, you're asking the wrong person. I'm not the show person.
Oh, I
So,
know. Oh, let's get Leslie Headland on here, and next I'll talk crap
oh,
to her.
I'm sure she'd love
She,
to be on a podcast.
yeah, no, she would not talk to me. If anything, she probably has me on a blacklist already.
Oh my goodness.
She has probably everyone on a blacklist that talks crap about this show. It's just definitely, she definitely has daddy issues. That's for sure.
Oh my goodness. So no, I'm sure she obviously just has
Mm,
very, very different creative desires than everybody else. So
terrible, terrible creative desires that
yeah.
but yeah. So that's kind of like the spoiler thoughts, at least in some form, that I wanted to get into without that I couldn't get into my spoiler review. It's just that the show at the end of the day, nothing when you watch the first episode and towards the end, nothing mattered. Literally, like no one knew about what about the witches or what anything that happened. And like Soul got thrown under the bus at the end, discrediting his whole entire name when he was actually doing it to protect the two kids throughout the whole entire
Hmm.
show. And yet the Jedi's are supposed to be the Presters when you have Leslie Headland's wife doing all the bad stuff. And so I don't. It's dumb. And like, and characters not acting like themselves and etc. And ruining character stories.
It's her prerogative. I didn't like it. I didn't think it was great, didn't dislike it. It was just bleh. So
Yeah.
we'll see what she comes out with potentially for season two. Who knows?
Or just delete the show off Disney Plus. That's an
Oh my
option.
goodness.
Hey, that's a better option. I think we
I
should.
think we should make a popcorn bucket that self implodes and it's the Acolyte.
Yeah.
Come here's mask.
That I do like his mask. I would buy that mask.
I know you would. I know you'd also buy the popcorn
I
bucket,
would
which
buy the
is
popcorn.
why I know you're going to buy this next one that we're talking about with this popcorn bucket
Yeah.
because it just you love Alien. Are you going to put
Uh,
your Alien popcorn bucket next to that one? Genuinely?
Probably have the face hugger attached to it. Let us know in the comment section below on your guys' thoughts on the Acolyte. Moving on to better things to talk about is Alien Romulus, which is coming out next week at the time of recording this, which I'm so excited for. Can't wait. Think it's gonna be my favorite movie of the year.
Are you going to put popcorn in your Alien Romulus
Oh,
popcorn bucket?
I have to go to AMC first to get it, and I'm looking for like yes, and I actually like the bucket designs. It's not as creepy as this one. This is just a gag. This is something to have, and next people
This
will
is
look
like the
at.
fifth. You're like light flexing on everybody with your popcorn
Yeah,
bucket.
it's going on eBay for $5 billion if anyone wants it. Um, but
Sold for 4.9 billion. We'll take 4.9.
Okay. But the alien one, at least the because nothing is it's nothing like that, but like but it's basically like the metal 10, if I hmm. It's basically like the metal tin of just like the bucket, and next it comes attached, and it's like there's a face hugger attached to it. You can take off and on, which is kind of cool. I like that. And next there's one I believe at it's either Regal or Cinemark, and
Which is interesting. I
it's
didn't
like
even know they had those.
it's a full-on head one of the alien, and you can hold it with your arm, and next you open the top of the back of its head and you put popcorn in it. It's supposed to be a little nod to Alien versus Predator, because in that movie, like our protagonist at some point is holding the alien head. So a little nice nod to that film. Not a terrible film. It's better than uh Alien Resurrection, that's for sure. So
Oh, 100%.
so
So
I'm looking forward to this movie, and I like the marketing for this movie, and everything about this movie has been on a good note. I'm really looking forward, and you guys better go and see it. This better make $100 million at the box office on opening weekend. It's
they're gonna
predicted.
get my $12.
You're $12.
So
Yeah, you're gonna have to go to an AMC because do you have a Harkins down where you live now? I think you might have
no, we
one.
have like well here. No, we have a let's see what it's called. I'll let you know. I've never heard of it before, and I was like, "Ooh, we have a Cinemark."
Oh, you have a Cinemark. Ooh, fancy. Um, yeah, it's predicted to make $50 million at the box office. I think it will probably make 60. I think it will make $60 million domestically opening weekend. I think it can do that. And at that rate, it would already made back its budget because it has a $40 million budget. And so good for that. It will definitely easily make its money back for sure.
Oh, I don't doubt it. Let's see. I'm looking to see when they're playing it. Maybe I'll go see that this week.
Yeah.
That would be good.
It comes out next week. So
Oh, just kidding,
this this
everybody. I'll probably see it next week.
this week comes as Borderlands. Yay.
Oh, that'll be good though.
Did you see the Harkins buckets? It's awful. It's the marketing for this movie is not the greatest. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Alien. Let us know in the comment section below on the Alien bucket, and if you're excited for Alien Romulus. I know for sure I am. And be lookout for a video on the first Alien, by the way. Um,
So, fun fact, the
hmm,
tickets are only $8.
at Cinemark,
Yeah,
man, I've been going to the wrong theater.
I know that's crazy. I wonder if the seats stink. I wonder if that's why.
Maybe, maybe it's like not like an updated version of like the recliners.
Probably. That would be my guess.
But yeah, let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Moving on to another alien slightly topic is that there's a rumor of a new Men in Black movie in the works. Um,
Oh, wow.
no,
Can I be mean?
I,
No,
I like the Men in
another
Black
one.
movies. I don't like the
Um,
Chris Hemsworth one. I forgot about that one.
yeah,
I don't like that
yeah.
one. But
I was gonna say. I was like, are we talking Will Smith?
Will Smith, I like that one. I don't know if he's coming back. I mean, like if he does come back, great. But
We need this. We need Will Smith.
yeah.
Let's put Will Smith with like Chris Rock and make them partners in
Oh no.
Men in Black.
I don't know. I don't know if they hate each other still or if they're like, still on talks, but I don't know. I don't know where they are at on friendship levels, but
They're gonna make a comeback, or should I say a slapback?
a slapback. At the slap at the box office. Um, but
Excuse me.
this kind of lines up with some thing that we talked about, I believe it was last month, is that there was rumors of a 23 Jump Street movie. And one of those scripts was that it was going to be a Men in Black crossover. And so could that have an, similar, line up with one another, a 23 Jump Street movie and a Men in Black movie into one. So you get Will Smith, Channing Tatum, and Jonah Hill coming back into a alien undercop movie film. What do you think about that?
That would definitely be a movie. As to whether or not I would want to see it, though,
It's better.
probably not.
It's better than the Jurassic Park and Fast and the Furious
Okay,
crossover.
first off, what they should do is they should do a Star Wars crossover with Fast and Furious,
Oh my god.
where Dom Toretto takes a 1950s, Ford muscle car and drives it through an executor class destroyer or something. And then just like it's only possible with family, Ray Skywalker's family, and then
Oh,
does that not sound good? That sounds great. It could be fun.
maybe they can do in Spaceballs too. That's what they can do.
Oh, that would be really. That's the sequel I want to see. I also want to see sequels to the scary movies. I love the scary
They're
movie
doing
movies.
they're doing one to that, or
Oh,
is it
good,
a remake? It's either one. It's either a sequel or a remake. But they are doing a sequel to Spaceballs too. And
good.
if they make fun of the Disney sequels and the shows, then great. I'll be on board.
They
Um,
probably won't.
yeah, Disney will probably get upset and be like, no, 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 you can't do that. Um, so let us know in the comment section below on the idea. Well, like, what do you think what they could do with a Men in Black film? I guess is a question that I could ask.
Eh,
Time travel.
I mean,
Oh wait, they already
yeah,
did that.
they just need to bring in kids. Hey, these are the kids that are related to these special characters. Make it like they did with Ghostbusters. Bring in their kids,
But good.
new generation, but make it better. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
What they could do is Kid in Black,
Kid,
KIV.
Kid in Black. Oh my gosh. No. I don't know.
It's a great idea.
Let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below on this matter. Uh, so did you watch 24 at, at
Yes.
all? Yeah.
Beep, 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 beep.
I
Where it like
I
click down.
it it's been a bit since I've watched the show, but I remember enjoying it. And next they did like a spin-off show with I forget the actor's name. They did a spin-off show at some point.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I like Sutherland, so I hope he does it.
Yeah.
Like,
So like there's a movie in the works and it just started in early development. The problem is with the idea of this, like so in the show, for anyone that never watched the show, um practically it was almost like it was like a is it would it be a spy thriller? I don't. It's an action thriller show, and there would be this bombs that Keith that is the actor's name Keith. I forget.
Kiefer.
Kiefer. Okay. Um, he would have to uh defuse the bomb and try to figure out where the bomb is and defuse it. But the show would take place in 24 hours. So you have 24, and each episode would be an hour long, and so you would have 24 episodes. So that was basically the premise of the show. You're basically almost like watching this in real time while the show goes on. So I don't know how that would work without it being a simply just I don't know how that would work in like a movie form without it just simply just being like another Jason Bourne movie, or etc. Or another like action movie.
Holy crap! It's Jason Bourne. Zooms in. It's Pokemon
They do
with.
they do a
Just
Jason
kidding.
Bond they do a Jason Bourne crossover with this.
I mean, I would love to see other spies in movies, like A Man from Uncle with an early James Bond.
Yeah. I mean like they could do like I don't know who's doing the film, but like I miss those like crossovers. Like, we got Jason versus Freddy crossovers, Alien versus
Yeah,
Predator. Like
crossovers can be great.
we haven't gotten any of
Wolverine,
those.
Wolverine and Deadpool.
Yeah. I mean like there is talks of a Marvel and DC crossover like verse movie. That could be interesting.
Let's let them first both make good movies
That's true. Let them
with just
first.
themselves, and
Yeah.
then they can do crossovers. How does that sound?
It could be an
So,
Elseworld story. It doesn't have to be connected.
yeah,
I don't know.
we'll see.
I'm curious what they
Uh,
will have to do with the story and of this movie, but they do lose the premise of it being an hour long episode and 24 episodes without it being just simply another action flick. And so that means they would have to really bring the cast and bring some form of writing and make the action a lot of fun to drop the aspect of what the show had. That's kind of what they have to do. Um, and I don't know who's attached to the project. That I don't think they've announced anything on that levels of who's attached. So I don't know. That's kind of like my thoughts on it. If you have anything else to add to it.
no, I was just gonna say I think Kiefer Sutherland will do a good job, uh, whether he's in a supporting role, whether they make him like obviously the main character, Jack Bauer. It'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see. So I'm excited. I'm curious to see what everybody likes. If they like 24, do they like shows like 24,
Do you guys even know
NCIS,
what 24 is?
CSI,
Like
yes,
that's an
CSI
old
Miami,
show. I feel like more
Hawaii Five O.
people will be watching The Rookie more than this.
Yeah. So, but it'll be
But
good. Let us know. Drop it in the comments below.
did
So,
anyone use Redbox?
oh my goodness. I
Like
was sad. I can't believe I have to end on a sad topic. That's what I was sad about. Is you
should we
put
start
Redbox.
should we start it off with this as like just sad note?
I just was sad. I mean, Redbox is finally filing for bankruptcy, and you knew the
I
model wasn't going to be sustainable. It just wasn't.
I've always
Not
had a bad experience with Redbox because you would get the disc, it would be all scratched up or etc. And just that it's very it's just literally just like a machine that is outside of your grocery store and like anything could happen to it. It's like I don't know, it's a nice idea, but they never want to adapt like Blockbuster. And so and eventually what happened to Blockbuster? They went bankrupt. And so it's an end of an era for Redbox, and people are like, "Oh, well, this is the end of physical media." Well, ah, yeah, physical media is not going away because Walmart is pushing hard on physical media. So is Target, and so, but yeah, I don't know. What was your favorite movie that you ever rented from Redbox?
The M. Night Shyamalan version of Avatar: The Last Airbender. No, I'm just kidding.
How dare you touch that movie? It's probably on Netflix since
Uh,
Netflix owns Avatar now.
oh, um, James Bond Casino Royale.
Mm,
There was a time frame where I think I think at that point in time, Redbox would ship you your movies, if I remember correctly.
maybe.
Um,
They
don't
probably
quote me on that.
they probably still did do it before they went bankrupt.
Yeah, I remember getting one of the James Bond movies. It was Casino Royale. And such a good movie. And I ended up buying it because
Oh,
I liked the movie so much. So I don't have very many physical copies of movies, but I do have all of the James Bond. So I have
yeah.
Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall,
Do you have the new one?
Spectre. Yeah,
Yeah. I heard that the new one
No Time to Die.
isn't the greatest.
Um, it was probably middle of the road. I Nothing will touch Casino Royale,
Better
at
than
least for the new
would you
James
say that the
Bond
second one's the like the worst of it, worst one?
movie.
Because I've
Yeah,
heard that
Quantum of Solace.
yeah.
Quantum of Solace is my one of my least favorite ones. So we'll have to do a rating. I would love to rate. Let's watch all the James Bonds and then we
Uh
can rate them.
even the 1950 ones.
100%.
Yeah.
We want to watch all the James Bonds, but
I've seen the new ones, but I've never seen the old ones. Even like the
they're good. They're good. Sean Connery's there.
yeah.
Pierce Brosnan. Um, why can't I think of the other gentleman's names? I could see his name in my Pierce Brosnan, Daniel Craig, Sean Connery. Is it George? Gosh, his name. Why
He's
am I
looking up
having such a
probably actors.
yeah? Why Roger Moore, George Lazenby? That's who it
Uh
was. David Niven, Timothy Dalton. There's a few that I'm always like, oh, I forget. But
yeah. There's been so many actors, which would I guess is a good question. It's like who would you like to see as the next James Bond?
let me do that for the next one. I'm gonna do some homework
Oh, okay.
because I don't have somebody off the cuff like yes. I think if
Liam Neeson.
no, he's too old.
Jared Leto.
No, what is with you and Jared Leto? You have an obsession
It's
with
like you want to
Jared
know how
Leto.
I got these scars, and it's just like him just being terrible at his spy job.
Let's see. Henry Cavill, maybe
I've
if he was a little bit younger and
and skinnier.
I think he's too built.
Yeah,
Like James Bond is supposed to be like a suave, smooth spy, but Henry Cavill would be good, although he already has played some spies in like A Man from Uncle and then a few
Argyle.
others. So yeah. So
It's
part of me's
awful.
like, I still can't believe he was only in that movie for like 5 minutes. That
Yeah,
was
no, he
terrible.
was literally, and he was like the face of the marketing of the whole entire thing. It's like, oh, he wasn't even in it. Um, a lot of people would say Egerton.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he would be a good
Taron
one.
Taron Egerton, I think is his name.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I never saw this movie in theaters, but Mission Impossible Fallout, that was like a movie I rented from Redbox.
Is
I
is that the one where
with
he's climbing in the building?
no, it was it's the one with Henry Cavill in it.
Oh, yes. I do remember this one.
It's people's favorite Mission Impossible out of the whole entire franchise. And so
I,
I
I liked Ghost Protocol. That was one of my favorites.
yes,
So
I do like Reckoning. But yeah, it's a sad era for physical medias and it's a sad era for Redbox. But without Redbox,
R.I.P.
we
Redbox.
want to have Netflix. But Redbox did a good thing. I mean, like you would go out and rent a movie, and next you like the movie, you would go out and buy it in real life, like the actual physical media, and buy it full price. So, and it's just something that people have lost when it comes to streaming. Like people like, all right, I'm gonna watch, I don't know, Hunger Games on Netflix. It's like, all right, I watched it. That's kind of one and done. Never gonna watch it ever again, or at least if it pops up
It's
again,
kind of
I'll watch
sad.
it.
It is very sad. And you know what's even more sad too is I go and look, and oh my gosh, I'm old. I remember seeing some of these Mission Impossibles in theaters.
Yeah,
So I really like Ghost Protocol, and it's from 2011.
that is really a long time ago.
Yeah,
What
wow.
what is it really taking like every 4 years to get a Mission Impossible film?
The first one was four. From one to two was 4 years. From two to three was six. From three to four was five. From four to five was 4 years. From five to six, it was three. And from six to seven, it was 7 years. No, I'm sorry, 5 years, excuse me.
NX
And then
Dead
this
Red.
next one,
Yeah,
Dead Reckoning Part Two. Um, yeah, I'm so excited. They honestly, his movies have been really good.
yeah.
Like this last one got pretty good. It got a 7.7 out of 10.
Yeah, it didn't do well at the box office, but that could be multiple different factors of reasons why. Um, and the whole marketing of the mountain jump was probably less interesting to people when it came to his stunt that he did for Mission Impossible Fallout, which was the Halo jump, which
Yeah.
people and so. But this the next one that they're probably going to promote is the submarine one for Mission Impossible 8. Was it? No, 9.
No,
I
it's
think it's
eight, I think.
um
Isn't it?
I think it's 9. Um wow. We're almost at 10 Mission Impossible films and we have 10 Fast and the Furious films. It's crazy. Um but yeah. And
This will be number eight.
oh, would it be 8? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's I would rent a lot of stuff from Redbox. I got Rampage from Redbox at some point, and not it's a all right film. What was his name from The Walking Dead? Negan was in it.
Oh yeah. I don't know his name. Like I said, not
Yeah.
the names guy.
I liked him. I like him a lot. I want to see him in more projects and these TV shows, and he needs to stop doing these Walking Dead spinoffs that he's doing. These
They
Walking
need to they
that
need to
series
stop.
needs to end.
Yeah.
Like they need to just bring back Rick Grimes and unite him with the group and X boom, show's over. Universe is over. Stop. Um so yeah. Let us know in the comment section below what your favorite movie that you've rented from Redbox. And did you ever go out and buy the movie for real?
Oh,
And so
yes,
that's a
yes.
let us know in the comment section below. And that's all the topics that we got to talk about for this month. Sorry for the long wait on this one. We'll try to be more on point for the next one, hopefully. Unless you have
Yes.
any trips that you don't want to tell me.
I'm going to Guam in case you're interested. No,
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
well, then I'll just
I'm
bring,
just
and
kidding.
then what I'll do is just sneak into your suitcase and with all the gear, and
And
we'll
we
just
could do
record.
it. Yeah, we could do it from there. That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
yeah, do it in person. So let us know your guys' thoughts on the podcast. Are you guys enjoying them still? Let us know your um uh all that good stuff. Let us know your guys' thoughts on the topics, and thank you guys very much for watching. And if you guys were listening to on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, thank you very much for doing that. Anything else?
I don't think so. I think I'm excited for the next one. We'll see. We'll see what new topics come up. So
Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Like always, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye, guys.